So welcome to November's webinar. This is our second last webinar for the year. Our next webinar is on the 17th of December. We will be covering restores on that webinar. But for today, we're looking at the Mozy support website and the contacting Mozy support. So a quick introduction. So for anybody who hasn't joined before, my own name is Niall Fahy. I'm the technical education coordinator here in Mozy. So I do internal trainings and external trainings of our support staff and those customers who actually end up supporting our software. So today we will go through a session. I will try and get through the presentation as quickly as possible and give you a demonstration then for about 15 minutes and then leave the rest of the time that we've left over to question and answers. Okay, so from my own background, I'm here in Mozy about 5 years now. I started here doing technical support and I'm now doing the technical education here within the support organization. So quick overview of what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover support.mozy.com. Inside that is the Mozy community, the knowledge base, the documentation section, and then additional options like our Twitter and Facebook feeds. We'll then look at the log analyzer. Okay, so this is our user-facing log analyzer. It allows you to quickly view your last few backups of your files, and it also gives you any information on if you're having any errors within that. Okay, and then finally we look at the My Support interface. So this is where you will go, for anybody who hasn't gone in there before, it's where you will go to open a case, retrieve your support ID if you need to call into support, or also to open a live chat. So the support.mozy.com interface looks like this. Okay, you have your sub tabs and information down the left-hand side, and in the center, on the right, to the right of the page, you have the main tabs. The first of which is the community. So the community is where you can take part in discussions, you can read our blogs, you can watch the tutorials. You can also join the community to look for additional feedback from your peers that will be using the software. Okay, so it allows us to open up various topics of discussion for issues that people may be seeing or things they may have noticed within the client, or even there's a one there inside the community for enhancement requests. So if there's something that you thought that would work well with Mozy, you can put in the enhancement request forum a request there to maybe make a small change to the product or the software. Our knowledge base is the next tab to the right. So the knowledge base is, I like to see it as a live kind of organism almost, because it is constantly changing. So our support staff maintain this and they update this on an ongoing basis. So articles within there, if they need editing, if they need updating, if new articles need to be created, they're created by the support staff as they encounter issues, and it's all updated into the knowledge base for customers to actually use for their own benefit. So in there you can search for various articles depending on your client version, your operating system, and so on. The documentation section then is more detailed. That is our user guides and our admin console guides. So they're the more, I suppose, academic literature for the software. You then have your following Mozy support on Twitter and Facebook. And as you can see there, the Twitter feed feeds directly into the support.mozy.com webpage. So that's kind of standard enough on a lot of support sites, where you see their Twitter feed live in there. You see some online banking companies do it now as well, so that you can see other requests that are being, or questions that are being asked by customers from the Twitter feed. The log analyzer is on the home page as well. You'll see from here, you click from the left-hand side, and that allows you to open up the log analyzer to actually input your own log file and see what errors are on there and so forth. So once you click the log analyzer, it'll take you into the window similar to this. So it gives you the log upload. It will give you the steps there underneath, if you're using a Windows or a Mac machine, where you can find your log file. You then just drag and drop into the area provided the log file. Once you do that, it will upload and analyze the log file, and it will give you a log report that will look like this. It gives you the machine name, the product name that you're using, the version of the client you're using, and as well as that, the operating system that the log file has come from. Okay? It'll tell you when your last backup was. It will list out a few of your last few backups, and it will also give you any errors in previous backups. So in this scenario, I wouldn't be worried about the error that I received here, because that error was received on the 7th of the 5th, whereas I can see my status tells me that I had a successful backup on the 20th of the 5th. So my backups are running successfully. That is an old error. It's not an error I need to be worried about. If it was an error that I needed to check, I can click on the error itself. As you can see there, it's highlighted blue. It is a hyperlink. It will open the knowledge base for you on the specific article, and you can follow the steps from there. Alternatively, you can go to the KB article resolution to the right-hand side, read some of the information there, and if you click more, it will give you more information on the relevant knowledge base article. My support is the web page where you will go to if you need to contact our support teams. From here, as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner there, you will have the Mozy phone support numbers. Okay, so that is accessible to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So the phone numbers there, to dial those, you will be required to have your support ID ready, and you will get that from the top of the page that I just highlighted there now. So your support ID is required to ensure that people who are not entitled to phone support are not contacting us via phones. Okay, so using the support ID will get you directly into phone support and speaking to a support agent as quickly as possible. Additionally, you can create a case if you prefer just to have an email case. You can do that too. If you don't need an instant reply, or you don't need instant reaction with interaction with a support representative, you can open an email case as well and work the case through email. Maybe you're not available to speak on the phone at that time, and maybe you're not available to do a live chat. So you can do that as well. And we'll look at that in a second when we're going through the walkthrough. You can also chat live online if you wish to. So that will give you a direct one-to-one chat with one of our technical support agents. Okay, and that is done in real time. So moving on there now, we'll look at the walkthrough for the support.mozy.com, and we'll show you the community pages and the knowledge pages. So as you can see here, the community is from here. So this is our home page. You can click into the community. So on our community home page, as you notice there, I'm logged into my support account already here. So I'm already logged in. So it's going to pull up my profile. If you have an account here yourself already, your profile will come up here. Your status will come up here, and what level you are in as a contributor to the forums. If you've messaged in direct messages, if anybody's liked some comments you made previously, and your community points. So the community points are explained there. Okay, so community points bar shows your current progress in the community before you were elevated to a higher rank. Okay, so you are elevated more and more as the more input you have into the community. Okay, so for example, usernames issues here is one of our top contributors, as you can see there. Okay, so in the community you have various discussion topics. Okay, so you can ask the community a question, you can create a new post, and then you can go through here to see if there's any additional ones. So there's discussion topics. So for example, there's Mozy for Windows, There's multiple threads within that topic, so you can go through them to see if there's anyone, or you can create a new one yourself. There's also tutorials down here. Okay, so this is where our webinars are stored. Okay, there's tutorials on Windows, Mac, Linux, the admin console, and the apps and support portal and so on. There's the ID exchange. Okay. You have the blogs here. So there's the community blog, video blogs, customer feedback, and then there's some of the top threads that we see opened at any particular time. Okay. So these are the top discussions currently in unresolved threads, in solved ones, and the most liked posts. Okay. So in here it is relying, it's aimed towards people working together for solutions, as is any forums, same as other forums. If you have an issue, you can come in and click on any one. Okay, and I suppose we look for one that. So here, you know, customer has a question and the moderator has replied to them. Okay. We generally try and attempt to give it some time so that so that others in the community can give response, but our moderators do respond to questions as well if they go over 24 hours without a reply. Okay, so that's just the community. The knowledge base then. So you can search in solutions, frequently asked questions, or particular error messages. Okay, if you want, you can search directly from here. So if you want to look for, say, something like snapshot error 0, it will return them for you. You can, as you can see from the left-hand side, you can narrow your search results, whether it be by Mac or Windows or by product feature. Okay. So it's returned articles to me. Okay. So the definitive snapshot error 0 article, but also ones that are maybe relevant enough to that particular error message. Okay. How do I identify the cause of my VSS error? Changing VSS provider. How do I back up open files? So we'll pull out some relevant articles as well, not just an error message. Okay, if you do a search. And if you want to then as well, you know, you can browse through some of the solutions or frequently asked questions. Okay, so if I, you know, how long does it take to back up my data? For example, we'll give you the article here. You can say if it was helpful or not. If it wasn't helpful, you can leave a comment as to why it wasn't. Okay. If you want to, if the article doesn't suffice, you can ask the community directly from the knowledge base. Okay. So if the article doesn't answer what you're looking for, you can go directly and ask the community from the knowledge base article. Okay. If there's particular error messages, if you click on an error message, it'll give you the information on the error, okay, Windows or Mac. If it's specific to both, it gives you steps to carry out along with screenshots, okay. And again, at the end, there's related articles to this, and if you haven't found what you're looking for, you can ask in the community as well, okay. It will as well tell you that if you've attempted these steps and they continue to fail, do contact support, okay. And I promise you, I'll give you the article there to find your log file if you can't remember that. Okay. The documentation section, as I said, is more stringent. It is our admin guide. It's more of the, I suppose, the academical literature. Okay. So it's the online user guide and release notes. So of any upcoming release. So it's a very theory-based information, but it gives you all that you need to know about the Mozy client, okay, and also the administration console, okay. Release notes there as well, so any upcoming releases, so our changes to the software, so if there's any there, the release notes are included there, so you can see new features and stuff like that that have been changed, okay. Generally, for any major changes, we'll always send out notifications to people, and we'll put the alert in the top up here in the announcements, okay. But if it's like a lot of the stuff that are just small changes, they just generally push going to the documentation section. Okay. So the log analyzer. So from here, we can open up the log analyzer. We just drag and drop a log file. So open up. So I have my Windows one here. Let's make this a bit smaller. So I just drag my log files in there. It uploads, and it gives me an output. So I can see my report here. Here's my machine name, the version of the software I'm running, and the operating system I'm running it on. As I can see here, in my last 4 backups, I encountered an error earlier on today, not too long ago. There's a purposeful error, and I can see then what the error was. If I click on the hyperlink there, it takes me to the knowledge base article that's relevant. But also I can read more. If I click on more there, it's going to take me to that knowledge base article as well. Okay, so it gives a small bit on the article here, but if you want the full article, you just click more or click on the name of the error, and it will bring it up here for you. I'll tell you there, this one is straightforward enough. The service stops running. So all I did there was I started the backup and I killed the service myself manually to produce the error. So it will just show you the last few backups and if there's any errors there, just so you can analyze your own log files, so that if you wanted to maybe attempt a few steps before contacting support, as some people like to do. That's just our basic log analyzer. So the final part then is the support. Obviously, we still have our follows Mozy on Twitter and Facebook if you wish there, and I don't think there's much explanation need to give there. You know, if you click on them, it will take you to both pages, and it will allow you to follow us on Twitter or follow us on Facebook. The Twitter feed is monitored during business hours by our community moderator, Zach, and he is based in Pleasant Grove in Utah, so that is monitored business hours during the day, US time. Okay, and it is covered then for business hours in EMEA as well. So the My Support section, as you mentioned a while ago, you know, you log in here. If you have any information, you can analyze logs. If you want to analyze the Mozy logs, you can do it from here directly as well. Okay, so if you wish to, you can chat live online now. So you can open up a chat directly with a support agent. If you wish, you can phone one of these numbers using your support ID. Okay, and you have direct again. It gives you access to log analyze from here and here. Gives you access to community. But you can also create a new case. So if we create a case, okay, it tells us where, you know, it fills in the date for us. Device. If you have devices backing up on your machine, it will give you the list of devices. Okay, status new, case reason. Okay, maybe you're having issue with your admin console, you need assistance with your account, you have a billing question, data shuttle, you're getting an error code, or so on. So I'm going to select that I'm getting an error code, subject, snapshot error 0, 0, and then I would give a brief description of what's happening. So when I fill in the subject there, if I was to leave out the test case, it would search and give me some relevant KB articles as well in case I hadn't seen any of them. And so if it's a standardized message, okay, so I'm just going to put back in test case so that nobody actually troubleshoots this case. Give a brief description of the issue. Okay, so obviously I don't want anybody wasting their time working this issue because it's only a test case. And then I submit. Okay, and now I see my case is now there, it's created. Here's my case number. when it was modified, and the status is in. Here's my subject, and if I want, I can click into the case and I can see case details. Okay, so I can see there I can close the case if I want myself. I can put in some comments to the case. Okay, if there's any emails, and if I need to attach any files. So if I need to attach my log files, I can do it from there as well. Okay, and once I'm happy, I just hit OK. So it's straightforward in that sense. So it will always be in your My Support. So if you have any previous cases, they'll all be listed there, and you can access them directly. Okay. So as I say, you can add additional comments to the case. So okay. You can add that to the case. That gets added in that I made the comment. Your support agent can also make comments and add them so that you can see them within here if you wish to use this interface. Or, you can continue just to use your email if you wish as well. You can see emails from here, what emails were sent to the case as well. And if you need to upload a log file, you can do that. So I'm going to just run my log file. And I will select my log file, open, add the log file, and that gets uploaded. That's now attached, so I can see it, it's here, I can view it or I can delete it, and then once I'm happy I hit OK. Okay? So that is the walkthrough on the Log Analyzer on the My Support web page. It's also the end of the walkthrough I wanted to go through. So if there are any questions, I will leave it open now for any questions. If anybody wants me to go back over anything or wants me to explain anything in more detail. Again, I'm really sorry for the issue with the audio earlier. It's the first time I've encountered any audio issues like that, in particular with the webinar software. But I will be reaching out to their support team to try and figure out why. For those of you who don't have questions and you're happy enough with the way things went, thanks very much for joining today. We really appreciate it. I particularly appreciate it, you taking time out of your days to listen to me talk. It's always much appreciated. As I say, we will be running another webinar on the restore options that are available to Mozy customers on the 17th of December. And that will be our last webinar before the end of the year, obviously. Also, for those based in the States, happy Thanksgiving and enjoy your days tomorrow. And we will talk to you next month. So I'll leave the session open there now for a few minutes if there's any questions.